Hello all. I hope you know about bean validation to a certain extent already. There are scenarios where we would be finding the required validation or annotation from the JavaX library. In those scenarios, we have to write a custom annotation. We will see how to write a custom annotation in this video. I already have written a small Spring Boot program. I have defined a controller which takes the input from the REST body and just return the same, nothing much. While taking the input in the REST body, it will validate the input using JavaX bean validation. That's what this @valid annotation does. Whatever validation we have to do, we have defined in the bean. Just see here. This bean contains a string and a float and a date variable. For float, I set the minimum value annotation as 1 and the string should be non-blank. If the user sends the number as 0 or less than 0 for the float variable, it will throw on 400 exception with the error message price should be greater than 0. The same applies for string also. It shouldn't be null or empty. Even the user shouldn't be leaving this field. Internal annotation does all the implementation for us. Let's quickly see the demo. Now I'm sending the valid entries name, price and the date. Oh sorry, I forgot to run the program. Started. I'm sending a valid values and got the same result with the 200. Okay. Now let's remove this field. Try to send it. Oh sorry, I didn't remove. Now it is giving me a error. Just see here, it contains the default error message. Book is mandatory, which we have defined here. The book name is mandatory. This one is a very big error message. To get a simple error message, you should implement a controller advice. Otherwise, you will get the default error message, which is this one. We'll implement the controller advice in another video. Now focus on the annotation alone. Regarding the date field, for example, I haven't given any annotation for the date field at all, except this format. It will return the date in a certain format. Just keep it simple. It is returning the same. In case if I don't give the date format, it will return with the hour, beat, date, even the micron nanoseconds. Okay, regarding the date field, I want the date should be within a range. Say it should be within 2020 alone. For this kind of scenario, I am not sure whether there is some inbuilt annotation. There is an annotation called range, but I think it can be applied for only integer and long field. I'm not sure about the date field. Anyway, let's write a custom annotation to validate the date. Okay, I'm creating a custom annotation. In annotation, few things are mandatory and common. We can just copy from the other annotation as well. I will explain what it means. Fields are common for all the annotation. The first one is the target, for which one we are creating the annotation. This annotation can be applied for a method, field, annotation type, even the constructor and parameter. We can remove it. In case if you are going to use it only for the field, you can just keep the field and remove the other things. So I'm just keeping it with the default. And the next one is retention policy. For the constraint, the retention policy should be runtime. It allows the beans to be inspected at the runtime. And the third one, documented. It will make sure the constraint is included in the Java doc for this bean. You can remove it in case if you don't want. And the fourth one and the main thing is @constraint. With the use of @constraint annotation, we point to the implementation class. This can be empty or it can point to a implementation class. We'll write an implementation class. You'll get to know later. And the next one, the annotation contains a default error message. For example, here we have given some custom error message. So if we give a custom error message and the constraint is not met, it will throw this particular error message. But in case if you are not defining this message at all, in that case it will return this default error message. And the next one, this groups and payload, we'll see it later, not for this video. We'll keep it simple. I'm just giving a custom, default error message. Okay, I'm just given a default error message. Now let's create a implementation class. This implementation class should be implementing the constraint via validator in validator interface. This constraint validator interface takes two parameters. One is for which annotation we are creating this implementation. It's the spelling here. This constraint validator takes two input. One is for which annotation we are creating this implementation class. I am creating for date range, and another one to which field we are going to apply this annotation and the implementation class. We are going to apply for date field. So now it is done. We have to override some method. This one, we have to override this isValid method. So here only we have to write our custom implementation. So we'll be writing some custom implementation, which is a constraint. If the constraint is met, we'll return true, otherwise we'll return false. Now let's write a custom implementation. Okay, now the implementation class is ready. I've just created a minimum date and the maximum date. The current input is after minimum date and before max date. Then it is a valid entry, otherwise it is invalid. Here I have given false. So once we have created this implementation class, just give that in the constraint validated by. Okay, now the custom annotation and the implementation is done. Let us use this particular annotation. Okay, let's restart the program. Okay, now this one, it's a valid entry. It is within 2020, and we get the output. Now try to send the older date. I'm sending 2019. See, it's throwing a 400 bad request error. Here it's showing date range is invalid. So it is giving me the default message. In case if you don't want the default message, you can have a custom message also like this. So like this you can give a custom message, so it will be overridden by your custom message. Okay, one more thing, we can combine the other annotation also with our custom annotation. For example, I want this date field should not be null. For that there is a inbuilt annotation which is not null. Either we can go and put it here, not null. So in this case, if you are defining another date, there also you should go and put at date range as well as at not null. Instead of that, you can just insert the not null in our custom annotation as well. I'm just giving. So in this case, if I include only the date range, it will automatically include at not null as well as the date range validation also. This is a small example for the annotation. In future we'll see something else, and the similar thing you can do in a Java also. I'll just show you the program. This one. So it's a bunch of code which is common for all the validation. I'm just creating some validator factory, and I'm using the validator by using, if I use this object validator dot validate, and if I pass the object for the class, I'm creating the book object, and if I pass the, and I'm not giving any value, I'm not setting any value at all. So in case if I set the value, and if you pass this particular object, it will throw you a it will throw all the constraint violations in this object. You can just iterate it and get the message. It's a small Java program. I will upload these projects in the GitHub soon. Thank you guys.